remembering the time when this same Mus'ab, used to walk around with expensive clothing. Used to walk around with the latest designs. Then Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he mentioned something. He said, how will you be when you will have a separate garment for the day and a separate dressing for the night? We've got it today. We've got enough clothing. We've got something that we go to sleep with. Another clothes for the day. Sometimes different clothes every day. Winter clothes, summer clothes. Allah knows. The list goes on. وَسَتَرْتُمْ بُيُوتَكُمْ كَمَا تُسْتَغُ الْكَعْبَةِ. Not only that, Allah will not only give you so many clothing, you will start decorating your homes how people decorate the Kaaba. In those days, people never used to decorate their homes. They used to just cement their homes, just have a basic roof on top, and that's what about it. The only thing they used to spend money on was the Kaaba, was the Baytullah. They used to decorate it, they used to make it nice and designed. So every house will be designed in that way, or more than that. Lavish, luxurious lifestyle. Not only that, Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam continues, you won't even finish one meal and you will have another meal ready for you. We barely digest the breakfast, the afternoon meal is getting prepared. We barely digest the afternoon meal, evening meals are getting prepared. And then the snacks in between, the desserts in between, the junk in between. The list continues. So Sahaba, when they heard this, they said, O Prophet of Allah, نَحْنُ فِي يَوْمَئِذٍ خَيْرٍ. O Prophet of Allah, on that day we will be very well off. We will be in very good condition. We'll have plenty of clothes, plenty of food. We'll have designed homes, decorated homes. What more do we need? Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, no. You are better off today. You won't be better off then. You will be better off. You are better off today. Today, you may not have that much clothes. You may be struggling just for one pair of clothes. Today, you'll just be struggling for one meal a day. Today, you'll just be struggling for a basic accommodation. But alhamdulillah, you don't have no greed for wealth. You don't have no greed for position. On that day, you will have plenty of clothes, plenty of food, best homes. But everybody will be greedy for wealth. I want more and more. One person with one house will always be thinking, how can I have another house? One person with iPhone 3 will be thinking, when can I have my hands on the iPhone 4? And before he gets it, iPhone 5 is out. And they're always talking about the 6 now. It's all the same. I don't know the difference. Then you have the F3. It just never ends. That's greed. And a person will do anything just to get that. You may have read the article. Somebody in China or somewhere stole his child just to get his phone on the iPhone. They stole the child. But he will up for sale. Why? So I can get the iPhone. That's the greed today. That's what we are living for. So greed. We just can't do without it. We are not hungry. Alhamdulillah, there's plenty of food in the house. We are not naked. We've got plenty of clothing. The greed never ends. More and more. That is when a person starts not only having a war with himself, he starts having a war with Almighty Allah. When we study the Quran, when we study a hadith of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, no matter how great a sin is, of missing salah is such a great sin, missing one salah, may Allah save us. One salah you miss, such a great sin. It takes you on the road of kufr. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, Man taraka salata muta'ammidan faqad kafar. He has become kafir. Imam Abu Hanifa, mashallah, so father person says, don't be that strict. he's done something like kufr. The other imams, they say, no, he's out, no chance. It's such a great sin. A person, he has to go for Hajj. He doesn't go for Hajj. Nabi Karim sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, either he died as a Jew, he died as a Christian, I'm not bothered. Not died as a Muslim. Such a great sin for missing Hajj. When a person has the means, he's got everything in place. A person missing Salah, such a great sin. But Allah didn't say, the person who misses Salah, I'm at war with him. Allah never said this. The one who doesn't go for Hajj, I am at war with him. Allah didn't say this. But when it comes to two things, one in the Quran, one in the Ahadith of Nabi Karim sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Hadith al-Qudsi, two things. A person indulges himself in one of these two things, then he is at war with Allah. He is actually, the non-Muslims are fighting Muslims, but Muslims are fighting Allah. Can you just imagine what we are playing at? May Allah save us. Number one, that is, the word starts from the Hadith al-Qudsi. قال الله تعالى من عادى لي وليا فقد آذنته بالحرب. The one who insults or shows enmity or shows hatred towards one of my friends, Allah is saying this. Whoever shows enmity, hatred, insults one of my friends, harms, then I am at war with him. Anybody who insults a friend of Allah. So, Hazrat Maulana Khalil Ahmad Saharanpuri rahimahullah, Shaykh Zakaria rahimahullah, his Ustad, who wrote Fadail Amal, his teacher. He was walking somewhere one day, and somebody came from in front of him, started swearing at him. So he had one or two people with him. He said, say something back to them. They've sworn at me, they've said something back to me, please say something back to them. So now the students don't know what to say. But what is happening here, nobody, the teaching is that we should forgive, and he's telling us to say something back. What is this? Anyway, a few seconds later the person slipped and he got such an injury, he passed away on the spot. So he said to his student, he said, I told you take revenge, otherwise if you wouldn't have taken revenge, I knew Allah would have taken revenge. If you wouldn't have taken revenge, Allah was going to take revenge. And Allah took revenge, he's no more now. So the one who shows enmity to a friend of Allah, be it anybody, and let me tell you, those people who we look down upon today, Imams of the Masjid, those who teach Quran to the children, those who are pious people, the fact that they are leading people in Salah, the fact that Allah has chosen them to teach the Quran to the rest of the Ummah is a sign that they are the friends of Allah. It's a sign. And Allah knows what we say to them. Allah knows. We should stay away from this. May it not happen that Allah starts taking revenge from us. So one of them is the one who shows enmity, harms, insults one of the friends of Allah, then Allah is at war with him. The friend sometimes doesn't need to do anything. You know, sometimes you have a friend at school, you say something to him, you mess with me. You know who you're messing with. I'll sort you out. So Allah says, you mess with my friend, I'll sort you out. I'll show you who you are. I'll put you in your place. And who can mess with Allah. And the second one, فَإِن لَمْ تَفْعَلُوا فَأْذَنُوا بِحَرْبٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. If you will not stop going into interest, you will not stop going into riba, you will not stop going into usury, then you are at war with Allah. The minute you sign the deal of mortgage to secure a 5-bedroom accommodation, you are at war with Allah. May Allah give us understanding. It's such an evil sin. Such an evil sin. Let us keep focused, inshallah. Umar radiallahu anhu saw a dream. Umar radiallahu anhu, Umar was Umar. Umar radiallahu anhu saw a dream that there will be somebody from my progeny, from my grandchildren, great-grandchildren, who will come into this world and who will fill the earth with justice and fairness. So Umar radiallahu anhu, now he had this on the top of his mind. You know, sometimes dreams can take a person. Dreams are dreams, but it doesn't mean that we need to always dream. Today, never mind dreaming at night, we're also dreaming in the day. Daydreaming. Sometimes many people they phone me, I've seen a dream. I say, when did you see it? She said, just about 7 o'clock in the morning. I said, you shouldn't be dreaming that time, you should be in the masjid for Fajr. That's dream. That is from Shaitan. You should be in the masjid. What you are doing dreaming at home? So, he saw a dream. So Umar radiallahu anhu used to walk around at night just to see any person hungry so I can feed him. Any animal hungry I can feed him. Umar radiallahu anhu used to walk around at night as a problem solver. Today we are walking around at night as a troublemaker. May Allah forgive us. Umar radiallahu anhu used to walk around at night, roam the streets of Medina, roam the streets around to solve problems. Today we are going around creating problems. May Allah forgive us. Let us become the Umar of today. People around us feel good being with us, living with us. Old people around us, sick people around us, be it Muslims, be it non-Muslims, visiting a sick person. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, Man aada maridan lam yazal fi khurfati al-jannah hatta yarja'. Or kama qala alayhi salatu wa salam. The one who visits a sick person, whether he's a Muslim or non-Muslim, besides the point. He's sick, you go and visit him. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam used to go to visit non-Muslim sick people, Jews, he went to visit, Mushrikeen, he went to visit who are sick. Today we can't even go visit as Muslim sick people. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, the one who visits a sick person, you may think that he's walking on the streets of Huddersfield, but in reality he's walking in the gardens of Jannah. In reality he's walking in the gardens of Jannah. May Allah give us understanding. So, going to visit sick people. So many people are depressed, retired, pensioners, old age, nobody to visit them. And our youngsters, killing time. In reality, the time is killing them. You're not killing time, the time is killing them. May Allah give us understanding. Let us bring some quality to our life. Let us not be problem makers, let us become the problem solvers. So Umar radiallahu anhu used to walk around at night. So one day when he was walking around, he got a bit tired, so he said, let me just rest here, just take a little, take a little breath here, take a little nap here or something. So he sat down, started leaning on the wall, and something going on inside. The lady is saying to the daughter, oh my daughter, mix water with the milk. So now the daughter is saying, don't you know what Umar said? Do you know what Umar said? Umar said that you are not allowed to do this. So now the mother says, where is Umar? Where is Umar now? Do it. Do what I tell you to do. Mix it. We can make more money. So then the daughter said, Umar may not be here, but the Lord of Umar is around. Umar is not such a person who we can obey him in front of him and disobey him behind him. The people in those days were not like the people of today. In front of us, mashallah, angels. Behind us, Allah knows. May Allah forgive us. You all in the same boat. You all in the same boat. We are living double lives. Double lives. In front of the people something else, behind them something else. Let us be honest. Let us have a clean slate. Look, this is how I am. Whether you're here, you're not here, I'm the same person. Straightforward. So Umar radiallahu anhu told his person who was with him, his servant, Aslam, that take this address down. We're going to investigate in the morning. So they took the address, they took the number, they took everything down. The next day, Umar radiallahu anhu said, go and call that little girl and bring her here. So when they found out she was a young girl, she wasn't married, so Umar radiallahu anhu looked at his children. Abdullah, he was already married. And the other one, he was already married as well, Abdullah ibn Umar. So then he told her, asked him, that you get married. You are not married yet. So Asim got married to her. Those were the days when the parents used to say you need to get married, they used to get married. Those were the days. The Quran says, فَانْكِحُوهُنَّ بِإِذْنِ أَهْلِهِنْ. Get married to them with the permission of the family. The youngsters of today say, who are they? Who are these to tell me what to do? I'm the boss. I'm the man. I'll do what I want. So anyway, so he got married. They had a daughter, and then she became the mother of Umar ibn Abdul Aziz rahimahullah. So Umar ibn Abdul Aziz rahimahullah was the great grandson of Umar. Grandson of Umar radiallahu anhu. Umar, two Umar. When he became the Amir al-Mu'mineen, getting to the point, the reason we get into interest today is we have this thing in mind, that I need to leave something behind for my children. If I die, and if my children don't have a house, if I don't have a house to my name, I don't leave anything behind for my children, what are they going to think about me? Look, kya kahenge? What will people think? That ek ghar mein nahi choda, he didn't even leave one house for the children. That's the mentality. So mashallah, the person, day in, day out, he's going, working, trying to pay the mortgage, missing salah, missing Quran, no time for masjid, no time for nothing. And by the time the mortgage comes to an end, the angel of death is also knocking. His time is also up. So Umar ibn Abdul Aziz rahimahullah, he filled the earth with justice. He filled it to the extent that people used to go out looking for people who to give zakat to. Today everybody is asking, give zakat to me. In those days, when justice, fairness, everything will be done according to the way Allah wants it to be done, then there will be nobody in the world greedy, and there will be nobody in the world needy. Today we are so greedy, so on the other hand we have needy people. We can't just get enough of our greed. So how can the needs be fulfilled? The world needs to come to the greedy needs to people give up the greed. If only we give up that extra iPhone, if only we give up that extra iPad, if only we give up that extra designer jacket, designer trainers in our life, Allah knows how many people's stomach will be filled with that money. Allah knows. But today no. People are not maybe dying in Syria, people may be dying in Palestine, people may be dying in rest of the world. Who says, I need my doctor, I need my trainers, I need my latest phone. That's the type of life we are living today. We can't just get enough. I need to spend thousands in the weddings. I need to buy the best home, the best car, the best phone. And we think that's success. So, Umar ibn Abdul Aziz rahimahullah, he became the Amir al-Mu'mineen. And he ruled the world for only 2 years and a few months, not too long. And when he was on his deathbed, he was about to die. He left behind 18 dirham, just 18 dirham. From the 18 dirham, 5 dirham was for the Kafan, dafan, burial, shrouding, digging the grave, all that. And the other 13 was there for the family. And he had 12 sons. 12 sons. So one barely got just 1 dirham. One son got 1 dirham. Maybe just a pound each or something. And the father is dying. No house, no car, no phone. Just a pound each for all the time. Can you just imagine what he's leaving behind for his children? So people, they came to him and say, you're the Amir al-Mu'mineen, and you've got 12 sons, and you're not leaving anything behind for them? What will people say about it? At least leave something behind for them. You know what we think? Today, our mentality today, that I need to leave something behind, be it through haram, be it through at war with Allah, who cares? So Umar ibn Abdul Aziz rahimahullah replied one, something worth written with gold. What did he say? He said, look, I had 2 ways. I could either rob the people and made mansion for each one of them. He was a king. He was the Amir al-Mu'mineen. Nobody could say anything to him. He could have robbed the people. He could have taken all the money from the people, as the kings and the rulers of today are doing. And he could have made mansions for each of his sons. And nobody could have said anything to him. They said, no. I don't know how I will answer to Allah on the day of Qiyamah if I do this. What answer am I going to give to Allah? I have to stand in front of Allah. I have to stand. Taqwa, fear of Allah. وَلِمَنْ خَافَ مَقَامَ رَبِّهِ جَنَّتَانِ. The one who has the fear of standing in front of Allah on the day of Qiyamah, then never mind 1 Jannah, Allah will give him 2 Jannah. Jannatan, 2 Jannah. May Allah give it to us. But we need to have that fear. And I need to go in front of Allah one day. And Allah will ask me, how did you buy this house? How did you buy this car? How did you buy this? How did you set this business up? Allah is going to ask me. What am I going to say to Allah? We need to have that fear. May Allah grant it to one and all. Amen. So he said, look, I have this way, but I can't answer Allah on the day of Qiyamah. So then I chose the other way. What did I do? I made each one of them a way how to become friends with Allah. I showed all of them that if you live a life like this, Allah will become your friend. And when Allah becomes your friend, then He will look after you. I don't need to look after you, He will look after you. وَهُوَ يَتَوَلَّى الصَّالِحِينَ. As the Quran says, Allah becomes the friend of the pious people. Allah is the friend of the Salihin. So if they become pious, they become salih, they become friends of Allah, then Allah will look after them. I don't need to look after them, I don't need to worry. Allah has much more than what I can give them. On the other hand, what happened? He was Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. The 3 kings that came before him, they were all his family, his brother-in-laws. Sulaiman ibn Abdul Malik, Walid, Abdul Malik, all this. All of them, when they passed away, they left behind millions and thousands for their children. Thousands and millions. How we want today, that before I die, my son should have his own house, my children should be well off, should be khate peete ho jaye. Alhamdulillah, they're already eating. It's not as if they're not eating. Theek thaak ho jaye. It's everything's theek thaak anyway. Allah knows. So, they left behind millions for their children. So when he was about to die, Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, he called the Raja ibn Haywa. He called the Raja. He said, look, I've seen 3 kings before me. 3 kings I've seen before me. What happened to them? When we lifted them up, the coffin, when we took them inside the grave, and when we opened the cloth, then they were most of the most beautiful people in the world. They were the kings. They had the best beauty. They were so beautiful, so fair in complexion. But they said, when we opened the cloth, their face had become dark. They lost their beauty. All you could see was all hatred, all adab, all punishment on their face. And we had put them on the direction of the Qibla, it got turned away. It got turned away on the other side. So he told Raja, he said, Raja ibn Haywa, I'm telling you something, I am dying now, so please see what happens to me. I've tried my best not to do what these people did. They took money from the people, which belonged to the people, and they gave it to their children. I avoided all this. Although the other three kings that died before him, they never missed salah, they never committed zina, they didn't lie. In fact, Walid ibn Abdul Malik, he was in regard to ibadah, he used to finish one Quran every 3 days. Every 3 days, one Quran. Every night in Tahajjud, he used to read 10 parah. Today we can't barely make it for the 5 times salah. In Tahajjud, he used to read 10 parah. This is how pious they were. But because they had done zulm on the people, they had taken things which didn't belong to them, which belong to the public, and they had made their fortune. This is what happened to them in the grave. And Allah showed it to the people around them. So Umar ibn Abdul Aziz said, I tried to avoid those things. So now I am going, make sure see what happens to me. So what happened? Even before they were going, they were taking the coffin towards the graveyard, and a breeze came, the wind blew, and one letter came, one little piece of paper, and it came on the chest of Umar ibn Abdul Aziz rahimahullah. And when they picked the letter up, it was written, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Bara'atun min Allah, bi Umar ibn Abdul Aziz min al-Nar. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. This is freedom from the fire for Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. So when they put him inside the grave, and they opened the cloth, as if the 14th moon was there. كأنه فلقة قمر, as if it was shining his face. Anyway, it doesn't end there. I'm coming to the point. Those kings before him and after him, because after him was Hisham, Yazid, continued. And they all became back to normal, making their palaces, making their fortunes, giving their sons the best of everything, not looking after other people. So what did the world see? When the revolution came, the world doesn't just stay in the same place all the time. تِلْكَ الْأَيَّامُ نُدَاوِلُهَا بَيْنَ النَّاسِ. Days change, times change, kings change, people change. You know, we think that it is always going to be the Western power all the time. It's not going to work that way. Things change. Revolutions take place. Sometimes people who are leaders become prisoners, going to the grave, and people who nobody used to listen to become kings. It happens. So what is happening in the world today? Nothing to worry about. Days change. And it happens. Muslims, sometimes they are up, sometimes they are down, sometimes they are oppressed. All sorts of things happen. So don't think that it is always going to stay the same. Rich people who used to give thousands in zakat, now they are the ones who are given zakat. It happens. We've seen people like this in our lives. Once upon a time they used to give zakat, they used to give thousands in zakat. And they used to give thousands in the... And then a time came when they had to be given zakat. There was a time when people were so poor, they didn't even used to have one meal a day. Now they are so rich. This person in this day and age, I'm telling you about this 20th, 21st century we are talking about. 20 years ago, he had taken a loan from the bank to set up a business. Then the Imam told him, please brother, this is haram. You'll be paying interest. You'll be at war with Allah. Please give it up. First he said, no, I need to make a living. I need to do something. The Imam continued telling him. Then one day it was Ramadan. And the Imam said, I was making dua for him. I said, oh Allah, please save this brother from haram. Take him out of this. And that day he came to ask me again, what shall I do? I said, the Imam said, just get rid of everything, cancel everything, give that loan back, stop the interest, start something small, borrow money from somebody. And today we think that to borrow money from another Muslim brother on interest-free basis, we think that's humiliation, that's disgrace. If I go to her, ask him money, that, oh brother Musa, please, I need to start up a little business. Please give me 2,000 pounds, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000. I'll try to pay you back in the next 5 years. I want to set up this business. We always think, what is going to think about me? I look like a devil in front of him. But we don't mind going to the bank and taking that loan and going up more with Allah. We don't mind. We do the same thing. We're begging money from that person, interest free. But we're begging the bank, no problem. We don't mind. That's the situation today. We want to buy a car, we can't afford it. We don't say to our brother, please, I want to buy this car, can you help me? Can you let me borrow this? I will pay you back in the next 2 years, 1 year, as soon as possible. But we'll go to the bank, paying interest, go at war with Allah, we don't mind. We're begging both places. So, Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, Man akhada amwal al-nas yuridu ada'aha addallahu anhu. The one who takes money from people with the intention that I will pay it back to him. I will give it back to them. That Allah will help him pay back. Allah will make it easy for him to pay that money back. But if he takes the money from people, I don't need to pay him back. He's got plenty of money. What difference will it make? I've taken 5,000 from him. What difference will it make? That the money that he has, Allah will destroy that as well. So if we have the right intention, we take it from the people. So he started, he cancelled everything. It was month of Ramadan, he cancelled everything. And then for the next few months, he was under so much problem. He had to sell his house, he had to do this, he was going through problems. His children used to go to private school, now they have to go to state school. Sometime before, mashallah, he used to drive a big car, now he came to a little simple car. But then he said he borrowed money from few people, he started a little business. Construction company, little one, small scale. He went to partner with somebody. Slowly he bought the company off. And slowly the company grew. And they made few more branches. 15 years down the line, people were begging money from him. Banks were telling him, invest your money with us. Invest your money with us. How time changed. He thinks there was no way out of it. There is a way out of it. But today we don't like to have a way out of it. So anyway, the people, time changed. So what happened after that? After Umar ibn Abdul Aziz rahimahullah, the revolution came. Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, Hisham, Marwan, Abdul Malik. We need to pick up Islamic history. Today we don't have time to read. We don't read today. We have time for emails. You have time for WhatsApp. You have time for BBM. You have time to read Quran. You have time to read the life of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Do we have time to pick up Islamic history? Read. Where is our history? We need to read. Take lesson from it. So revolution came. So the Umayyad came to an end. The Abbasid took over. Abbasid, they took over. And Abbasid, the reason they took over was, they said, these people are giving a bad name to Islam. These people, they are more worried about the palaces, they are more worried about the luxuries, they're not worried about Islam, they're not worried about the rest of the Muslims, they're not worried about the poor people. They are giving a bad name to Islam. Like today as well, so many Muslim countries, no Islamic country. No Islamic country. And we all know how many Muslim leaders are giving a bad name to Islam. So it doesn't take long. It doesn't take long. So Abbasid, and let me tell you one thing, how Abbasid came around. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was in Hajjatul Wida. Hajjatul Wida. The final Hajj, the farewell Hajj, Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam did. and he gave khutbah in Arafat. Arafat, he gave a khutbah. You go to Hajj, and in Jabal Rahmah, at the bottom of it, he gave khutbah. And he gave the rulings. And he gave advice. Perform salah, don't do this, don't do that, do this, do that. And one of the things he mentioned was, please, no more riba from today. All the riba from today, cancel. All the interest from today, cancel. Any person borrows money from you, you don't charge him anything. You don't charge him anything. And you take money from anybody, don't give him anything. The one who gives, the one who takes, the one who administrates, the one who works at the desk, the one who witnesses, who just cleans the bank, they all share the same sin. لعن الله آكل الربا وموكله وكاتبه وشاهديه وقال كلهم سواء. The one who gives interest, he takes interest. He looks around, he sees interest is going on. The one who's at the desk, the one who's cleaning the bank, the one, all of them share the same reward. All of them are with Allah. All of them. No-go area. Never go and take a job at the bank. No-go area. Rather stay jobless, sign on, delay getting another job, find another job later on. But don't work in the bank and start go with Allah. Don't go in that direction. So, Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, this is how strict he is when it comes to this. Why? Because on one side you give sadaqah, you're giving 10 pounds sadaqah, no problem. You are giving it happily. You shouldn't force somebody to give sadaqah. You should give happily sadaqah, khushi. Now this person is barely managing to pay for the house and you're charging him extra. Meaning you're forcing him to pay that much. So the rich are getting richer by charging, by making interest, and the poor are getting poorer by giving interest. That's the game today. Rich getting richer, poor getting poorer. This is not what Islam says. What is the teaching of Islam? Mujta bin Namar, Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he was in Medina, and a group, a tribe came, and they were so poor, they didn't even have enough clothes to cover their full body. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam started crying when he saw the condition. He stood on the minbar, and he said, Allah has given you wealth, Allah has given you clothes, Allah has given you transport, conveyance. Any person who doesn't have a house, the one who has more than one house, he should give it the extra house to the person who doesn't have any. The one who has extra food, he should give the extra food to the one who has no food. The one who has extra clothes, he should give that to the one who has no clothes. The one who has extra means of transport, he should give it to the one who has no means of transport. And he emphasized so much that the Sahaba, they say, as if we thought nothing belongs to us, everything belongs to other people. Nothing belongs to us. You have to give everything to other people. So what is the teaching of Islam? Don't buy a second house until your Muslim brother doesn't have his own house. Help him buy the house. That's the teaching of Islam. You are buying houses upon houses, and your Muslim brother down the road, the Muslim brother opposite, your Muslim brother next to it, finding it hard to pay the bills, finding it hard to pay the rent. That's not Islam. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Wallahi la yu'min, Wallahi la yu'min, Wallahi la yu'min. By Allah, that person is not a Muslim. By Allah, that person has no iman. By Allah, that person is not a Muslim. Sahaba shocked with Prophet of Allah, who is this? Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, who enjoy his life as his neighbor is suffering. He's not a Muslim. We're buying cars upon cars. We're buying homes upon homes. One house, second house, third house. And the Muslim brother next door is struggling to pay his rent, struggling to pay his bills. Before we think about getting a second house in our name, we should help him buy the house. We should help him buy the car. That is what Islam teaches us. Not to make the rich richer, not to make the poor poor. So this is the teaching of Islam. We help the poor. We don't take money off them. We try to help them. So what happened? Nabi Karim sallallahu alayhi wa sallam gave a khutbah that from today, riba haram, cancelled, deleted. And Nabi Karim sallallahu alayhi wa sallam did not only say it, he practically demonstrated it. He said, look, my uncle Abbas, he was the father's brother of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam's uncle. He said, my uncle Abbas, lot of people has taken money from him. And he used to charge interest. So from today, any person who has taken money from him, don't owe him anything extra, no interest. I cancel it on his behalf. Any person taken any money off him, exactly the same amount he needs to pay back, nothing more. So Abbas radiallahu anhu stood up, he said, my nephew, Nabi Karim sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, my nephew, he has cancelled the interest on the wealth. I cancel all the wealth. Keep the wealth. I don't need anything from you. Take it. Now apparently he lost out. He had given, maybe he must have given 10 people 2,000 pounds. Now he lost 20,000 there. And maybe he was charging them 10%, 20% interest, so he lost another 25, 30,000 there. Apparently he lost out. Apparently he went down. That's like a whole year's wage. 20 grand. Well, not for the Imam. For the Imam it's like 3-4 year wage. For the good average working class people, 20 grand average wage. So, he lost out. But what did Allah give him in return? Today we worried about, if I lose this, what will happen to my children? Allah not only looked after his children, never only gave them homes, never only gave them houses, never only gave them businesses. Allah made them the kings. Allah made them the kings. Abbas al Khilafah took over. You know, I was talking about Umayyad Abbasid. Come back to the point. This is how they took over. So they thought the Abbasid, the family of Abbas radiallahu anhu, whose grandfather Abbas radiallahu anhu gave the sacrifice in Arafat. Now how Allah is looking after his family, his children. How Allah is looking after them. How Allah is taking care of the children. He took care of the poor people, Allah took care of his children. So now those people, they thought that, these Umayyads, they're more interested in palaces, they're more interested in this, having lavish lifestyle. We can't bear this. They're giving a bad name to Islam. So what we need to do now is we need to do a revolution. We need to get rid of them. We need to go in. So they took over, and all the governors who are not religious, not practicing, who are living in big mansions, they took all of them out, and all the pious people who are living simple lifestyle, who are generous people, who are looking after the Salah, who are looking after the Quran, who have a good connection with Allah, who are pious people, they made all of them governors. SubhanAllah. The revolution happened. So because all the children of Umar ibn Abdul Aziz were pious people, Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, when he was about to die, he said, look, I have showed them the way to piety. Now Allah will look after them if they are pious. So because all of them were pious, all of them were made the governors. They made all of them the governors. And all the other people whose father had left behind thousands and millions for them, they were all taken out, ousted. They were all ousted from the post. And all the accounts that they had built up was frozen, because that wasn't even their money, it belonged to the public. It was frozen, was taken back. So overnight these people became governors, and those people became paupers. And in Syria, you go to Syria today, Allah take care of that land. And may Allah take care of the Muslims there. And may Allah give a good honor to Islam. The land of Anbiya, the land of Shuhada, even today people are giving their lives there. So there's a big masjid there. Umayyad Masjid, where Isa alayhi salam will come down before Qiyamah, on the minaret of the masjid. If you're aware of the signs of Qiyamah, then you will know. Some other time, that's not the topic. So that was the masjid which these Umayyad Khilafah of the Malik and their family, they all made. That was the masjid they made. That's why it's known as Umayyad Masjid. And these same children whose father had left millions and thousands behind for them, after Jummah they used to be begging outside that same masjid. They used to be begging. But please, our grandfather made this masjid, Allah give him the kush de do. Give us something in the name of Allah, we've got nothing to live on. And those whose father left behind just barely a dirham for them. Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, he left behind just barely a dirham. That was about it, just they were giving thousands and hundreds in the path of Allah every day. They were giving. They were giving and Allah was giving them. Well, you know what capitalism teaches us? What the West teaches us? Save up. Save up. You may need it 10 years down the line. You may need it when you retire. You may need it. Your children may need it. And what does Allah say? يَبْنَ آدَمْ أَنْفِقْ عَلَيْكَ. O son of Adam, you spend, Allah will spend on you. So, going through a credit crunch, going through a financial crisis, the solution is not that we save money, the solution is we give money. The West will tell you, no, save up. We don't know. There's a crisis going on. You might need it tomorrow. Allah says, the more you give to Allah, the more Allah will give you. So because before, you used to give £1 every day. Now you need a more. Because of the crisis, give £2 every day. Allah will give you more. This is the teaching of Islam. But today we don't understand these things. Ali radiallahu anhu, he is sitting with his son Hassan radiallahu anhu. And then a beggar comes. He says, give me something in the name of Allah. So now the Hassan, Ali radiallahu anhu says to Hassan, oh my son, go and ask your mother, give something that is inside the house. So she goes inside the house, he goes inside the house, he asks Fatima radiallahu anha, says, oh my mother, you have something, a beggar is here, we need to give something. He said, look, I only have 6 dinar, which I saved to buy some flour, to make some roti, to make some bread, and that's what we have in the house, nothing more. So then he came back, so Ali radiallahu anhu said, no, the beggar is here, he's asking in the name of Allah, so tell your mother to give all that in the path of Allah. So now they went in, gave that. Now he was sitting in the same place he's sitting. And a person comes with a horse. He says, Ali radiallahu anhu said, you want to sell the house? She said, yes. She said, look, I will buy the horse, but I will pay you when I have the money. I don't have the money now. So I will pay you maybe as soon as possible, maybe tomorrow or the day after or something. So he said, okay. So he said, how much? She said, 140. So okay, that's right. So he said, tie the horse here. So they tied the horse. He hasn't moved there from the spot. He's still sitting in the same place. A while later, a person comes. He said, such a beautiful horse, you want to sell it? He said, yes. How much? 200 dinar. He said, okay. I want the money now. He said, okay. So the guy gave the 200 dinar. He took the horse. So Ali radiallahu anhu said to Hassan, 140, go and give it to the person who we bought the horse from, and go and give the 60 remaining to your mother. She gave 6, Allah gave her 60 in this world. She gave 6, Allah gave her 60. This is how Islam works. This is how Allah works. Minimum Allah will give you 10 times. And then Allah says, 70 times, 700 times, and then Allah says, وَاللَّهُ يَرْزُقُ مَنْ يَشَاءُ بِغَيْرِ حِسَابٍ. You give counting, Allah will give you countless. Give ke do, Allah bagair gine dega. This is the teaching of Islam. The more you save for yourself, the more you are taking, Allah will take it away from you. The more you give, the more Allah will give. And it has worked. You know, today we may think, but how does this work in this day and age? We are living in England. How will this work? This works even today. I know people who were born in this country, grew up in this country, never wanted to buy a house on mortgage. They were renting a house. Other businessmen came to them. Oh brother, you've got 3 children, you've got 4 children, have you bought this house? They said, no. So how come you didn't buy the house? He said, I don't want to go at war with Allah. I don't want to go into interest. I don't want to go into mortgage. He said, you are such an honest person. Look, I will give you money, you buy the house. I give you money, you buy the house. So look brother, I don't need your money. I'm happy renting a house. I don't mind. I'm happy renting a house. He said, look, I'm forcing you. I will give you the money. You buy the house. In this country, people are doing this. We save ourselves from haram. We give in the path of Allah, and Allah will look after us. Allah will look after us. May Allah give us understanding. So what is the solution to today's problem? Counsel it. On one side we are crying for the Ummah. Oh Allah, what is happening in Syria? Oh Allah, what is happening in Palestine? Oh Allah, what is happening in all these countries? Oh Allah, what is happening in Afghanistan? What is happening in Kashmir? Whatever. We are crying, shedding tears. On the other hand, behind what are we doing? We are at war with Allah. How will Allah listen to us? How will Allah listen to us? We need to keep a clean slate. How will Allah listen to somebody who is at war with Him? So let us cancel that today. Let us cancel it. Put an end to it. If we have to become jobless because of getting rid of interest, become jobless. Have that iman that the command of Allah is more than anything to me, means more than anything in the world to me. Allah is the greatest. If I take His command, which is the greatest, the most greatest will look after me. And when He will look after me, He will make me great. He will not only give me a great life, He will give me a great Jannah. You need to bring that iman. If I become homeless, if I have to leave that mortgage, come into a rented property, Alhamdulillah, Allah will look after my children. We are worried about our children. If we are worried more about Allah, Allah will look after our children. Today we are worried, what will people say after I die? Have we ever thought, what will I say to Allah when I die? Today we are worried, what will happen to my children after I die? Are we worried what will happen to my children when they die? May Allah give us understanding. The topic is long. We can go on and on. The simple message today to the youth, don't go at war with Allah. Give sadaqah, make Allah happy, and see how Allah looks after you. Allah will not only look after you, Allah will look after your family, Allah will look after your children, Allah will look after your grandchildren. 7 generations down the line, Allah will look after them. 7 generations. Because the person was pious, Allah will look after 7 generations because of his piety. But when a person is at war with Allah, Allah curses him. Allah curses him. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam curses him. The riwayat of Targheeb, Tamheed. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, the one who takes interest, he gives interest, he has anything to do with interest transactions, then he is cursed. I curse him. ملعونين على لسان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. He is ملعونين. He is cursed. And that curse will go to our children. That curse will spread to our grandchildren. No matter how much they work, no matter how big houses they may have, there will never be barakah in their life. May Allah give us understanding. Today we all know that the person who had the most barakah in his life was who? Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. There was nobody who had more barakah in his life than him. Was there anybody? Yet how small his house was? I always say, as even smaller than our storeroom. Smaller than our shed. Our shed is bigger than the house of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Because Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when he used to stand up for Tahajjud Salah, he couldn't go into sajda until Aisha radiallahu anha used to move her feet. Meaning there wasn't enough room in the house that Aisha radiallahu anha could sleep properly as well as Nabi Karim sallallahu alayhi wa sallam doing sajda. There wasn't enough room. So the feet had to be moved for him to make sajda. But that house was filled with barakah. So it's not about the size, it's about the quality of the house. May Allah make our house like this. Amen. Today we have big houses, mansions, with this fighting taking place. No barakah. We don't even know where the money goes out from. We see the money coming in, how did it get disappeared? There was a time where there used to be 10 people living in the house. One person used to work, everybody used to eat happily. Today 10 people are working, nobody's happy. Nobody's happy. Because we are through with Allah. Let us get rid of this war. Let us turn to Allah. Let us make tawbah. No way out of it. People will give you halal, fatwa, this, that. That is just to make you that happy feeling. Otherwise, deep down, it's still haram. Deep down, still haram. May Allah give us all of us understanding. Ameen wa sallallahu wa sallam ala rasulina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam.